Hey everyone, what's up, what's new, and what's going on? We are back at set number 2 of the 2013 Ryerson Open Men's Doubles Final, the main event, the event that everybody's been looking forward to so far, between 4 very powerful international players. On the near side of the court, we have the number 2 seeds, Josh Yu and Charles Pyne. You can see the names on the back of their shirts, so I don't need to do too much introduction. Of course, Charles Pyne representing Jamaica. And Josh Yu, I think he's hailing from Marshall, Ontario, Canada. But anyway, Charles Pyne, again, with a lot of international experience, ranked as high as 27th in mixed doubles in the World Badminton rankings. And Josh Yu, his partner, current junior national champion, going against the number 1 seeds on the far side of the court, Team Yonex, I guess. Andika Yong, hailing from Indonesia, now coaching in Toronto, Canada. And his coaching partner, actually, at the Mandarin Badminton Club is Nicky Aung, the taller of the two. I think he's only moved here about a year ago from Myanmar, so fairly recently came to Canada and now playing, well, coaching and playing in this Ryerson Open. But anyway, set number 2, as we begin. As you saw in the first set, Charles Pyne and Josh Yu were so good at controlling the net, so good at setting up the plays, and they were able to take the first set off of the number 1 seeds on the far side of the court, winning 21-18 against well, neither of these teams up until this final have... Oh my goodness. Anyway, Andika trying to go with a bit of a trick shot, really, but Josh Yu all over that shot, reading it perfectly and finishing the point off. Anyway, as I was saying, in this tournament, in this men's doubles tournament so far, neither of these teams, before the final, have lost a single set. In fact, both of the teams breezed through the entire draw, not really having to try really hard, going with some trick shots, different strategies, just playing around a little bit against players who really don't have that much international experience. So these two teams are definitely a step above everybody else, and you can see Andika's jump smash setting up the play for his partner Nicky on the far side of the court, and Nicky just not giving any breathing room at all and finishing off the point. It took a couple smashes from the front of the net, but eventually he broke down the defense of Charles Pyne and Josh Yu, and that's the way you gotta play it, because they were a little bit passive in the first set, and that really cost them the first set. It didn't pay off at all, because at one point I think they were down by 8 or 9 points against the number 2 seeds, Charles Pyne and Josh Yu. And well, that flick serve by Andika definitely didn't work out too well. Charles Pyne being able to power that down, no problem at all to win that easy point. But Charles Pyne, once again, with the service errors, and you can see the number 2 seeds, the main guys on the near side of the court, have been struggling a little bit with the serve so far. In the first set, I think that they both accumulated maybe 3 or 4 service errors in total, which is way more than what you would want to do in any single set. And right now, a bit of mind games going on as both sides, or both teams, do a bit of delay tactics here and there, and that delay tactic may have worked out pretty well for Josh Yu, as his service return was just too good for Nicky to handle. 6-all is the scoreline, and quite a different game from what we saw in the first set. Andika still going for the big smashes, and so is Josh. Oh my goodness, Josh Yu finishing off that last point, but a little bit lucky there, because Andika he was in position to get that drop shot, but somehow he ended up slipping. Mind you, these are wooden courts, and if you end up sweating on them in an intense game like this, you're gonna have some fairly slick spots around this middle of the court where you usually stand, and sometimes you do end up slipping, which is probably why all the international games you end up using the rubber band. But we're not going to get into that, as this game is as close as it could possibly be, as 7-all with Andika serving to Josh Yu. Charles Pyne going for the big kill and sets up his partner. Wow, the defense of Andika and Nicky Aung is not good enough for the attack of both Charles Pyne and Josh Yu. Great play to earn himself a 1-point margin, but that's not really going to be enough. What is enough is Josh Yu's control at the front court. He's been using that cross court so well, and every single time he tries that cross court, it lands maybe inches or right on the sideline. And that time it totally caught Andika off guard. Andika didn't even get a racket to that previous rally over there. So 9-8 is the scoreline. Coming back just a little bit with a lucky net roll by Andika. Andika digging hard for that last defensive shot. And once again, going for the huge jump smash. You can see how his body moves when he's going for the jump smash. Again, he is the shortest player out of the 4 players right now. All 3 of the other players are over 6 feet tall, and Andika probably around 5'7", 5'8". Yeah, around that range. So not the tallest of the bunch, but definitely smashes just as hard as everybody else, especially when you add in that really crazy vertical that he has when he goes for his jump smash. So 9-all is the scoreline as they kind of take a bit of a breather, as they grab new birdies, new shuttlecocks. And you can see that in the crowd, they've got their noisemakers ready. They're really enjoying this men's doubles final. And as we get set again, Nicky Aung serving to Charles Pyne at 9-all. Quite different from what we saw in the first set, and definitely much more fun to watch. Andika going for the cross-court net shot, just like how Josh Yu was trying, but this time Charles Pyne wasn't able to get it. But Charles Pyne just going a little bit too tight at the front of the net. He saw Andika was hunting at the front, so he knew he had to make the perfect net shot. And that kind of pressure got him to send it right into the middle of the net, not being able to get it over. But once again, that cross-court drop shot, this time by Charles Pyne, and Andika still unable to get a racket to it. So, I mean, it's been working a couple times, that cross-court drop shot against Andika. So we're going to see whether that comes into play in later in the match. Andika trying the cross-court drop shot for himself and changing up the speed of his smashes. Well, unable to finish. Oh my god! Another great cross-court by Josh Yu, and this time he just traps Andika because Andika was getting that net shot low. Josh was already right on top of the net. Anything that Andika hit would have been smashed right down, and Andika was just under way too much pressure to do anything. So as we, past the mid-game interval at 11-10, still very little difference between the 2 players right now. Andika and Nicky know they got to win the next 2 sets in order to come back from this. And Josh Yu and Charles Pyne trying desperately to win this in 2 sets without having to take this to a 3. But not if Andika has anything to say about it. But I think that was a fadeaway around the head jump smash, working to great effect as he goes for a channel attack between the 2 players of Charles Pyne and Josh Yu. 11-all is the scoreline, so oh my god, still all tied up. Neither of these teams really wanting to give up any room at all. Again, going for the fixer, so Andika kind of liking his own fixer so far. Charles Pyne drops it into the net, giving Andika and Nicky a little bit of breathing room, I guess, because now they're up by 1. I don't think they can relax at all being up by 1 because this is just rally points up to 21. And you can't really relax at all when it comes to rally points up to 21. Ooh, Andika trying to finish it off, but unable to jump as high as he really wanted to. So once again, all tied up. Josh Yu and Charles Pyne doing an amazing job of just keeping it close and making sure that they're not giving away the second set at all. Wow, Andika once again, you can see that whenever he smashes it down, there's really not much you can do in terms of defense, especially when you're smashing down from the midcourt like you did there. So Charles Pyne not the best of long serves, but sometimes you gotta take what you got. And once again, how many times have we seen this by Josh Yu going for the cross court at the front of the net? Every single time he does it, he either wins the point outright or gets his opponents into deep trouble, able to set up his partner or set himself up, really. Oh my god, this is kind of the trend that's been going on. Every time he sets himself up for a great shot, he ends up with a service error. So I haven't even counted the amount of service errors that Josh Yu and Charles Pyne have been making, but it's definitely much higher than you would really want. But Charles Pyne going for the big kill at the front of the net. Not giving their opponent any chance to defend against that. The 14-all is the scoreline, and you can see the intensity building between both sides of the courts. Neither of these teams are playing anywhere below 100% of their full potential, except for Josh Yu, kind of not really playing as consistent as he really wants to be right now. Smashing that easy net kill into the net, going for a little bit too much angle on that last shot. And once again, the opportunity goes to Andika and Nicky with serve, with a 1-point lead in this late stage of this second set. Oh my god. Andika seeing the open court on the far right side of the court and unable to put it or keep it in, really. So that was a bit of an unfortunate shot by Andika. He saw that he had the opening, but couldn't make any use of it. Ouch. Nicky still going for the tight net shot, going for the spinning tight net shot, and couldn't get it over the net. So, well, with that mistake, Josh and Charles are back in the lead, and 16-15 is the scoreline with Josh serving. Oh, this time the cross court not working, but a second chance to finish off the point, and you can see Charles was excited about, or not Charles, but Josh was excited about finishing off that last point, because that gives them a 2-point lead late in this second set, and now they're only 4 points away from taking this match and taking this tournament in 2 sets against 2 very good international players. The defense of both Andika and Nicky paying off this time as Josh once again lets that net kill go, and it sails just a little bit long. So those net kills from the forehand side of Josh's game is just not as consistent as you want it to be, and giving Andika and Nicky a chance to come back from this, that is just a very critical error in this late stage of the first set. And Nicky going for the big smash, this time making it work, powering through the defense of Charles Pyne. 17-all is the scoreline, and you can see the crowd starting to really get into this with the noisemakers. They know how critical the next few points are going to be. Coming back from a 2-point deficit is Nicky and Andika, the #1 seeds. And Andika down on the ground with the defense and the fist pump at the end. Charles Pyne and Josh Yu can't make that rally work, and now a 1-point lead after being on the ground. You can see how pumped Andika was after that last rally. Now with a 1-point lead, both Nicky and Andika look like they really want to finish this, cleaning off the court, the moisture from the court so far, just because with the intensity you get a lot of sweat dripping onto the court, making sure that they're not going to be slipping and falling at all. And once again with the forehand net kill is the error from Josh Yu. So Josh Yu really giving up a lot of very easy points that they would have won outright to Andika and Nicky. And when you're going to be giving easy points like that, you're going to end up in a losing situation like they are doing right now. 19-17 is the scoreline, still down by 2. This time with a backhand kill and the net shot, unable to get it over the net. Of course, Nicky was applying a lot of pressure because he was already there before Josh Yu even hit that net shot. So Josh was under a lot of pressure to make a perfect net shot, and that caused the error. 20-17 is the scoreline. Second set, 3 set points to Nicky and Andika, the #1 seeds, going for the backhand. Once again, the trademark backhand down the line pays off. 21-17 is the second set. Off we go to a third set.